Hey y'all, what's up? I know my day going, my voice is a little bit messed up, but what's up? Hey guys, yeah, we about to get back into the city. About to get back into the city, the diddler. So yeah, today, as the case continued, we finally heard from Capricorn Clark. We finally heard from another stylist, which is Nash. We heard basically still about the abuse that he did to Cassie. But one of the things that I do want to get into with the Capricorn Clark is they also brought up the situation in reference to Kid Cudi Carr. Far as the evidence, the finger cards, they all of a sudden they was missing. They wasn't in the evidence. So it seemed like the prosecution was trying to basically say that Diddy basically paid, you know, one of the detectives or whoever. They trying to push that narrative that Diddy paid them to get rid of the evidence because where is it? That evidence just basically disappeared. So we still trying to figure out where that's at. So they was asking one of the detectives or whatever, what do you think that happened? He said he don't know, but normally when they do have finger cuts, because allegedly they found woman DNA on Kid's Cuddy car. So at this point, nobody still know where the DNA, but it was noted that it was a female, basically it was female DNA. So we like, is it Cassie? Is it Capricorn? Because you know him and Capricorn had a tremendous turmoil relationship. Also, he told her basically if she jump in it, trying to protect Cassie, he's gonna f her up too. And not even only that, at one point she was basically accused of stealing some jewelry from Diddy. So they gave her a lie detector test for 5 days to make sure that she wasn't lying. So allegedly, Diddy told her if she was lying that she's going to be in the East River. So again, they asking all these questions. Well, what do you think that means? Do you that she basically took it as a threat because I believe that they be knowing what this stuff means. Somebody threaten you, somebody threaten your life. If somebody tell you if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, you gonna end up in the river. Y'all know what that means. You know, they saying that basically Diddy didn't basically say that he was going to unalive her, but the words that he used as us people, we understand that terminalization. Like we know that that's what that means. It's not like where's though somebody be like, oh, I'm gonna leave you in the river to go swim or go play and have some fun. No, we know what that means. So they using the words and trying to switch them around and trying to make it seem like Diddy wasn't this violent, but we done heard about how violent that this man was. Not only that, um, Clark Capricorn Clark, she had a text message to Diddy saying that basically she had a crush on him, but he was dealing with Cassie. So, and that's another thing. Like you had a crush on him, but you still stuck around. So hold on, y'all. Who the hell? All right, y'all, my bad. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, so where I was at? Where I was at? So she admitted that she basically had a crush on him and she liked Diddy, but also she, I ain't gonna say she was like jealous of Cassie, but she felt as though Cassie wasn't as talented as they portray her to be. So that's kind of like a form of jealousy to me because you got up on that stand and you said that, So at the end of the day, and I believe that's why she said that because she wanted Diddy seem like for herself. She was up there crying. She was very emotional doing her testimony. She was like distraught, shaking, and stuff like that. But I believe mostly everything she said. She said Diddy came to her with a GUN and made her go to Kid Cudi's house with him, and that's how they wound up getting at Kid Cudi house. And not only that, he basically he basically was what is it called? Not blackmailing, but dang, I had the word. Ugh. But he basically was making them do stuff for fame. You know, yeah, she said he kidnapped her with a GUN and forced her to go to Keith Cuddy house. But she claimed that she called Cassie and let Cassie know, and Cassie supposed to let Keith Cuddy know. That's why he wasn't there, which was a good thing because if he was there, we don't know if Diddy would have unalived him. So, they did give him a heads up, but Diddy, he was mad because she was messing with Cassie, was messing with Kid Cudi behind his back. But on the other note, we still don't know who, hey, cuz, I love you too. We still don't know basically who was the woman that put the Molotov cocktail bomb in his car. And then they said that it was like in a old English battle, a 40 battle. Y'all remember old English and stuff. And that was out like around 40 Coke 45 and stuff like that. But I know Diddy probably set it up, but I don't believe that he did it himself. Look at Diddy. Diddy drinking old English with applesauce. No, I believe Diddy ain't drinking no daggone. Now, if it was Ciroc, I couldn't believe that. But yeah, so it was just a lot going on today. Um, what else? I'm trying to stay on her point before because I don't want to be all over the place with it. Something else I wanted to tell y'all in reference to her. Oh, she said she felt as though that she was blackballed when like if you don't do what he tell you to do, you basically either you getting threatened, you might get smacked. You get threatened, you might get smacked, you might get beat up, so she felt as though he messed up her career. She had all of this stuff tied to Diddy. Her home was tied to Diddy. Her money, her 401k, all of this stuff was he was tied to it. Okay, I understand you was her boss. You probably helped her get this stuff, but why is his name on everything? And that's a form of basically control. Diddy was a control freak. Basically, if you didn't rock with him or do what he told you to do, he either gonna try to throw you under the bus, blackball you, or get you up out of there. Basically, So a lot of people was scared of him. That's why Kid Cudi called him a villain because he act like he was like the Godfather or something. Like he was the big boss. And that's another thing they trying to do, like get him on the record 10 and all of this stuff. Like he was what's those people like a boss, like a shit. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. God damn it. But Diddy also tried to make Cassie do certain things, and when she don't do it, he told her that basically he gonna basically frame her with her sex videos. He gonna show her parents and put it out there, and basically he gonna send it to her parents' jobs and make them lose their jobs too. So it was she was just under a lot of pressure. He got mad with her because she didn't answer the phone. He said, "B, didn't I tell you to answer the phone? Yeah, I'm a whip your." I mean, like you got to be at his beck and call. You if he tell you do this, you better do it. She didn't answer the phone. She get a bang. You got a banger. Like it was just like a control thing. And yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. Most people, Cassie was just starting out in her career, and that's all she seen was money. That's basically like Capricorn Clark was saying. She got a family to feed. She need the money. It was a job, but nobody, because they asked them that too on the stand, like why you didn't help her. She said, "Cause if he did, he told me if I help her, he gonna smack the shit out of me too. Like I'm gonna get beat up too." So I guess you know, she they a lot of people just kept quiet with this stuff. So it's a lot coming out now in this trial, but a lot of people they turned a blind eye. They seen it. One of the stylists said, did he even jacked him up off of his feet, like grabbed him by his collar, because he told him that he wanted Cassie hair up. He wanted her to have an updo style. So he was saying that basically he had a down style. And when Diddy seen that, he said, "Didn't I tell you that you're supposed to be up and all of this stuff?" And he was like, "But it looked better now." He was like, "I don't give a fuck. You gotta do what I said." So he jacked him up, and he said he pulled them like off of his feet or whatever a little bit, and he said they went in the bathroom and did the updo style, and when they came out the bathroom, he had the nerve to say, "Oh, you right, it did look better now." And you made that nigga go home. Told that nigga get the fuck on, get out of here, get out of here. So he went home. But he said he was a little bit scared of Diddy too. Like Diddy was controlling everybody. Everybody, like if you're not listening to what he telling you to do and how he's saying it, you in trouble. Basically, you in some big trouble. Diddy was the man. Like, he was in control. And right now, he's not in control. So, that's like some narcissistic behavior. So now, they said that he looked like he lost some weight and stuff like that. He probably stressed out though. But he just was like he just like to run people, be in control. Everything he got to feel like he the man. He is like on top of everybody. And then the stylist was saying like he was like putting him down and all of this stuff, like like he the big honcho in charge. So he was like, when he was leaving, he called them and said, "Bring your A back" and all of this stuff. And he came up to the car and was like, "You think I'm playing with you?" And blase, blase, boom. It was a lot. I believe that all these people have a story and they've been through a lot dealing with Diddy. Diddy, when we see him on like the TV and stuff like that, he portrayed to be like a nice guy. Um, he don't do none of these things. But behind closed doors, they said he was a monster. The guy said he's a monster. Basically, he's a daggone monster, and he had everybody scared. And everybody wanted this fame. Everybody wanted this, and so they got this little series too. I was watching today called something like the R. Kelly one. They did like a surviving Diddy and a couple ladies. They coming out talking, but one of the young ladies that was on there, she said that basically she was trying to make it in the music industry and all of this stuff. But when she met Diddy, she was like a what they call him, a go go girl, or a dancer, but she attended a couple of the white parties, the all white parties and stuff. And she said he'll have it set up and tell you where to stand, who to be with. Sometimes he make her be, at first she started out like just being a dancer. But then she said as she kept on getting called back, she would dance and she would do other stuff too, like in the freak offs. Now she in freak offs. At first she wasn't. She said it was like she had to gain his trust. So she said every time she do like the little freak off sessions and all of this stuff, and she asks him like, "Yo, when I'm gonna get in the studio? When I'm gonna get? I'm trying to get on the studio. I'm trying to get this money. Basically, I'm gonna sing. I want to, she wanted to be an artist, and he kept on like blowing her off. We'll get in there when we get in there. Like just kept blowing her off. So she said that she kept on going, thinking that she's gonna be rich and famous. And now she regret a lot of the things that she was doing because now she's saying that she wished that she never even met him basically, and now she don't want to be famous no more. She don't even want to be in the entertainment world no more. Cause he was basically like a Hollywood elite. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that it was like a selling your soul thing. Like you got to sell your soul. When they say that stuff for real, like the Illuminati and all of that stuff is real. The higher ups, they will make you sell your soul and do different things to basically become rich and famous. And who don't really want to be rich and famous? A lot of people want to be rich and famous, want to be in Hollywood, want to get that money, don't really want to be struggling and stuff like that. We get it, but it's just the level of different things that you have to do. And Diddy said money make people do anything, and he never lied. Is he people do anything for the money, and some people just went above the like you letting somebody pee in this young lady mouth and stuff like that. Like some stuff just was too too out there. Like come on now, and if you don't do it, you getting blackmailed, you getting blackballed, you not getting paid. Get the hell up out of here. You might get banged. You might get dragged by your hair. They said the girl didn't answer the phone, and he told her, "Bring your fucking ass over here," and all of this stuff. If you don't move fast enough, you getting dragged. We already seen the video of the dragzation. I'm gonna call it the dragzation because that was something that he did normal. That wasn't the first time he dragged her. It's like many different stories of him dragging and beating on this lady. The stylist also was saying that he would beat her until she was bleeding, and he was like, "We'll just send her to a plastic surgeon and all of this stuff." And then you can't really speak on what's going on because if you do, Diddy coming after you. And we done heard stories about Diddy getting people allegedly unalived and stuff like that. So you gotta be on pins and needles when you're around him. You gotta do what you told basically. Because don't nobody want to be unalived. You know what I'm saying? So it just was a lot. It just was a lot on the trial. Also too in that little clipping that I was watching with the young lady, you had a guy on there saying that basically they played this egg game and they broil these eggs and all of this stuff. And this is allegedly, y'all. This came from somebody else's mouth. So he said basically they boil the eggs and all of this stuff. So they make the guys bend over and they insert the egg in their, you know, BUT hole. And if the egg crack, then that means you're not ready. You're not basically ready to basically be in the entertainment world because you didn't pass the test. But if, you know, everything okay, the egg don't crack or nothing like that, you possibly can get a record deal. So it's just sickening that some of these people had to go through this and live like this. But what they say, the price of fame is expensive, depending on what kind of fame you might. And not only that, I believe Diddy was abused when he was young. I believe that. I believe that. But when he started getting money, he probably was like, "All right, I'm gonna just take over. I'm gonna be this big empire, and I'm gonna start doing stuff to people." So that's just basically what's what it sounds like to me. That's just my opinion. Um, so y'all know that he basically he also fired Capricorn Clark. And she said she been calling him for years trying to get back, on his payroll, because she was making money. She was making money, but he was abusive to everybody that was around him, basically. It's more testimonies coming out. Um, they gonna have another young lady tomorrow testifying and stuff. But Diddy did a lot to some of these people. Some of these people are scarred for life, from the things that they witnessed and the things that they had to experience or do. Some of these people is really, um, what is it called, triggered, um, messed up in their head because this is emotional. Like, who does this? Oh, Diddy, whatever, but he got to be a sick person for half of these stories that we listening to and hearing. And the crazy part about it is, some of this stuff was been said years ago, but again, nobody didn't want to believe it. We didn't, we see him on the TV screen as a good guy, as a down to earth person, a respectable person. But behind closed doors, the stories that we are hearing now is some of the stories that we've been heard. But I don't know if the world was ready for it like they are now. A lot of stuff was like, no, we can't talk about this right now. Then y'all know how some things come out and then all of a sudden it ain't even talked about no more. Like somebody got paid off to shut up. And that was a lot of things that was going on too around Diddy's situation because y'all see how he tried to shut up that lawsuit with Cassie real quick. He paid her off the next day. And then she still took it there. But as we keep on going, it's gonna be more and more people coming out against Diddy, men and women. Um, it's just a lot of people are talking now that was scared to talk before. And my thing is, if he get off, some of these people that came out, even though he can probably make some stuff still move on, like behind in jail, because it don't take a lot to call somebody and be like, I give you a $500,000 if you do this, get rid of that person and all of that stuff. But they are watching his calls, so they really watching everything that he doing. So it's kind of hard for him to do it in jail, but stuff like that does happen. Like people be threatening the witnesses and stuff like that. So stuff like that do happen, but right now they watching Diddy real close. But this is getting interesting. They trying to throw out some of the people testimonies and the judge was not having it. We gonna keep that, scratch this, but keep that. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot, and it's getting, like I said, it's getting interesting. It's something. It's like entertainment too at this point, but we just gotta see what's going to happen. You know, I don't believe. Well, I believe most of the stuff that these people are coming out and saying. But I want to see if Diddy gonna take the stand and what is his take on it, what he got to say, because he know he did some wrong stuff. But to what extent is hold himself accountable for these things that people are allegedly saying against him. Like I just can't wait to see. But again, they keep pushing this narrative. If this, well, all of this was happening, why would you stay? And again, the money, money make you do a lot of things that you probably don't want to do in this life. But hey, it's money. Like some people will stoop that low or go to different limits to get that money. And sometimes you gotta sell your soul. You might gotta sell your butt. Hey, you might gotta sell your mouth. But that's just the way the industry seems like it's going, and it's been going on for years. Even some of the children's that be on the Disney movies and stuff like that. Like more and more stuff is coming out, not just with Diddy, but just with a lot of other artists um and celebrities too. So this stuff is not new, and you just gotta believe it. I think I had a clip with what's the guy that used to be in making the band Day 26. Yeah, so he was saying in reference to Belt, if Diddy get off, is he going to basically come for the people that went on the stand and testified against him? And I want to see if they going to bring Gene Deal up. Is Gene Deal going to take the stand? Like, because, he worked close with Diddy also. You know, he was his security guard. So he's seen a lot of stuff too. But he's talking, but he's not talking. You know what I'm saying? Like he said he witnessed him putting his hands on Casey, but he said he didn't say nothing either because at the end of the day, that wasn't his job. His job was to protect Diddy. That's what he was getting paid for. But me myself, personally, as a man, for you to see him beat on that young lady, you still should have stepped in. Like everybody was on hush hush just to get paid. We get it, but at some point, when you could have pulled them to the side, like, yo, come on, man, stop bringing up on that girl like that. Stop doing that to her, yo. And then he'll do it in front of people. And if you say something, he be like, you want to get smacked too? You want some of this? You want some of this? Like, people don't be wanting no getting beat up and stuff like that. Y'all make sure y'all hit the likes. What's up, Sweatco, baby? Yeah, make sure y'all hit the likes. But Diddy tormented a lot of people, and everybody around him just seemed like they was just so scared, like terrified of him. But I commend the people that's coming out, talking about it, and trying to get it out there. But this case, it can go either way. That's what it's looking like. It can definitely go either way. But this is going to be a hard one. Bribery. This is the word I was looking for. He would bribe people, because he gonna have something on you. Just like what I was saying about Casey. If she didn't do what he wanted her to do, he would bribe her and be like, "I'll put this out here. I'll show your parents this. I'll let them know that." So that's another reason why people was like, I ain't even trying to say nothing because if I say something, they gonna probably know I'm a furry and all of this stuff, or I'm sweet. And Diddy gonna tell all my business, and he made sure he had everybody on a table. He had everybody on a tape so he can blackmail him. And then that's another thing that we still don't know where these alleged videos at. Just like the finger card, the evidence for the Kid Cudi stuff that disappeared, and right now they still ain't talking about these tapes. Cause I definitely want to see them. Yes, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you, Sweat. Yeah, but there's a lot going on with this case. Um, back to the stylist. Back to the stylist. The stylist, he said he never basically he never was invited to a Diddy party, but he did, like, do the hair and stuff like that. But he was never basically in a Diddy party, allegedly. So I guess Diddy had his picks. He probably had his picks of who he want there, who he think that he can trust, who he believed that probably won't say nothing of the things that they be seeing in these parties. But the stylist wasn't one of the ones that was able to basically participate in the Diddy freak off. So, but it definitely hit home, and it's making Diddy look like the supervillain. like like he said, he a supervillain, and is painting a picture like that. You know, he was running around the city like he run the city, which he did. I mean, Diddy had money. Diddy had everything. Most of the baddest women, the baddest vehicles, the homes. He lived a luxury life pretty much. And cause y'all know we heard stories about the mother allegedly ain't his real mother, supposed to be his aunt, but he kisses her on the lips. Like it's just a lot going on, but he never really spoke about that, if that's his real mother or if that's allegedly um not, or his aunt or whatever. So we still haven't got that clear either. But she been there. The daughters haven't really been there. But the son, he been there. All the sons, they been definitely there. They, his support, his mom, you know. So they was at court. They'll probably be at court tomorrow too. So yeah, but and then he also got his fans. He still had fans that love him. Um, people walking around with the free Diddy shirts. I heard that they was getting paid to wear the shirts, but I don't know. I don't know how true that is, but allegedly they was like somebody is sponsoring these shirts for people to wear to show support for Diddy. So we don't know how true that is still. But yeah, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here, but tomorrow I think we'll be back on tomorrow, and hopefully it's gonna be some other jaw dropping stuff and some stuff we be like, oh my goodness, like wow, like But yeah, Diddy, if you don't do what he say he gonna do you. Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in for today. I love you guys. Everybody be safe. Everybody tell somebody you love them today. Give somebody a hug, a call, or whatever. And I'm about to get up out of here. But no Diddy, y'all. No Diddy. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later.